Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1442. Happy Friday. It is time for the free for all, and we're going to play Name That Player, and we're going back. We're going way back to 1989, which is, hey, this actually, the timing is perfect. Michael Renicky, shout out Michael Renicky. He's probably not with us just yet in the chat, but Michael Renicky gave me a couple packs of 89 tops. He's like, hey, let's do this on Name That Player. Okay, let's do it. It also coincides with the home opener at Wrigley Field, which is later today. Will be my 42nd consecutive opening day at Wrigley Field that I will not be attending. I'm a fair weather fan. If it were now, I'm also busy today. I did have a good friend of mine offer me a ticket. He texted me last night. He's like, hey, I've got an extra ticket. You want to go to the game? I'm like, I got too much stuff going on. And I do. So even if it was 75 degrees and sunny, I wouldn't have been able to make it. But I'm a fair weather fan. So I'll wait until after Memorial Day. Now I made a special trip last year, and it was actually a year ago tomorrow. A year ago tomorrow was when I was honored at Wrigley Field with my 1 millionth Cubs card, the Superfractor, on the field after throwing out the first pitch before the Cubs-Dodgers game. That was April 5th of last year, a year ago tomorrow, which is funny. We play 89 tops, and of course, that's my favorite nostalgic design, and that's the design of my card. So it's kismet. It's kismet that we play 89 tops today on Name That Player. So Cubs at Wrigley today. It's probably going to be cold. It's been like the weather's just been absolutely crazy. We don't need to talk about the weather, but it's been absolutely batshit crazy. It's 32 degrees right now here in Madison. Let's look at Chicago. It's 41 degrees in Chicago. Ooh, all the way up to a high of 48 with a 70% chance of rain. Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. I'll be watching it from TV as I work. So I do have a busy weekend. By the way, program note, no Hobby Evolution tomorrow. I'll be in Wheaton, Illinois tomorrow for the DuPage County Fairgrounds card show. I've heard great things about. I know it's a good show. It's put on by Mike and John from Premier, so it's going to be a great show. And this will be my first time setting up at the show or even attending. I think they've only done one or two at this venue. First time they did it, I think, was last like June. And I'm like, yeah, I love the Kane County Fairgrounds show in St. Charles. I'm like, Wheaton's a little further. So we'll see. So it just so happened, I'm like, when's that DuPage County show? Like, I need to do another show. It's been 2 months. So yeah, here we are. Wheaton, Illinois tomorrow. The county fairgrounds. Later today, I have a call with eBay regarding eBay Live. So I've been actually going through the process of getting on board with eBay Live for, gosh, it's been about a month, maybe 6 weeks since the whole conversation started. It started with somebody from eBay who reached out to me and said, hey, have you ever thought about selling on eBay Live? And I'm like, yeah, I have a lot. In fact, I've applied a couple times and haven't heard anything back. Apparently, they're not taking on any new sellers. And so this person said, well, I'm now in charge of eBay Live, or like not in charge, but he's now part of the onboarding process and has a say. And he's like, we'll get you on. So we started that process. I had to fill some paperwork out. We did a call last week. I was accepted into eBay Live last week following the call. So today is like my initial onboarding call. And I don't know how long the process is. It's not like I'm going to get the call today and start going live next week. I'm assuming it's probably going to be about a month before everything's squared away. So I'm hoping May 1st, sometime around May 1st, we can start selling on eBay Live. Speaking of eBay, how about the auctions last night? Holy moly. The Hunter Green sold for $76. And it was at like $16 yesterday morning. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I would have put this on buy it now for $2.50. And I'm thinking, where did I get this? Like, sometimes cards I go through so many cards, but I buy a lot of bulk, but it's not like I'm buying bulk every day or even every week. Like, there's usually, within the last month, there's probably been, I don't know, 3, 4, bulk purchases, maybe just 3, I'm trying to think. So it's like, where did this come from? But I think I pulled it out of a 50-cent box. I think that Hunter Green came out of a 50-cent box at the Chicago Sports Spectacular a couple of weeks ago. And the reason I pull and you're saying, well, why would you pay 50 cents for a Hunter Green card? The reason is because it didn't look familiar, and it was a high number from archives, because it's like card number 343. And I'm like, oh, this is probably a short print, because it's, I think cards 301 to 350 in archives, or maybe 326 to 350 are short prints. So I knew it was a short print. I didn't know it was a $76 short print, but I knew I could get a few bucks for it, a couple bucks. And at auction, honestly, I would have been happy before I knew what it was if it sold for 99 cents at auction. And I would have put it in my store for a $2.50 buy it now. And then it starts like $16. What the hell? That's a short print and all that. I know that, but man. And apparently, so I tweeted out yesterday, I'm like, hey, why is this a thing? And apparently Hunter Green had a great night. And he is the Cincinnati Reds. They scare me with Green and Nick Lodolo and Andrew Abbott. I mean, they're loaded. Their pitching staff, their rotation is solid. And they've got Ellie De La Cruz on the offense. They've got some young hitters, Christian Encarnacion Strand, Matt McClain. I mean, they're a team, and they're young. That's what scares me. Young and talent scares me. So I think they will contend in the NL Central. I think it's a race between the Cubs and Reds to win the Central. The Reds scare me. Now, they've lost. The Cincinnati Reds have lost 3 straight games, all by the score of 1-0. So if they can get that offense, now it's March and the first couple days of April. So that's, somebody in a group chat was like, man, the Reds aren't very good. It's like, come on, man. There's 7 games. We're 7 games into the season. We're 7 games into the season. Give it time. It's also March. Terrible month. April, terrible month for offense, especially in Ohio, in Illinois, in these cold weather states. So I think they have the talent to do it. So eBay Live, hopefully that gets kicked off. eBay auctions, great success last night. I do have more auctions ending tonight. 99centcards.com. I think there's over 100 auctions ending tonight. You'll get a lot of deals, a lot of like 99-cent deals. I think a lot of cards will go for 99 cents. I was surprised last night at some of the auctions finishing up. Like some of the Topps Gold sold for like $2.50, which I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, I would have priced them for $2.50 as a buy it now, but to get them in auction, even better. Because I expect them to go for 99 cents. So last night was, and it's funny how that works. Like last night, I make some sales at auction that surprise me. And then it's like other nights, what was last night? Thursday. Sometimes it's like Tuesdays, and it's like, oh man, my Tuesday night auction sucked, or my Sunday night auction sucked. And then all of a sudden, some crazy Saturday night, like all of a sudden, like, hey, where'd all these bidders come from? Like Saturdays usually suck. You never know. That's the crazy thing about running auctions. And oftentimes the auctions end up sucking. Last night was not the case. Last night I feel was a very successful auction day. Speaking of sales, I did bring up my numbers. I want to keep myself. This is more of an exercise for myself, speaking it out loud. My sales year to date, 31%. So just to actually went like, if I can see a couple fractions of a percent growth each day, I think that's a win. If I can see the number go from like 30.6 to 30.8 in a single day, you over the course of the year, if I keep that up, that'll be huge growth. So 30, just under 31%. Let's see. Auctions. Obviously, I didn't do auctions the first 3 months of last year. I didn't start doing auctions until later in the year. I may have done a couple auctions here and there, but nothing big. Actually, I did do some batches throughout the first half of the year. I think just stale inventory. Didn't really do much. My quantity sold is up 12%. My average sales price is up 17%. So my fixed price is up 8%, and then obviously a huge uptick on auctions because I didn't do auctions in the first few months of the year. So I'm happy with that. I want to see that continued growth year over year and try to hit 40% growth for 2025. I got a haircut yesterday. Made a trip to the storage unit. I still have the most recent Goodwill pallet that I picked up last week. I just took it straight to the storage unit. I went through, so I stopped and I just wanted to go through. I wanted to kind of go through a little bit of it. So I went through the binder. There were a lot of binders in this Goodwill pallet. Sometimes it's like all boxes, and sometimes it's a bunch of binders. There are a lot of binders in this one. A lot of shitty, and when I talk about shitty binders, I'm talking about like the actual 3-ring binder itself. Sometimes they're like really nice, like complete set. Like here's a football card album. The really nice blue ones. But these were like just your average office plain white binder. So I went through a bunch of binders, pulled out some cards for like quarter boxes, pulled out a small stack for eBay auctions. Nothing big at all. I think probably the best card was the Derek Jeter, was it 2008? 2008 tops. Was that with George Bush in the background and or Bill Clinton, whoever, the presidents in the background, Abraham Lincoln maybe. This is the version without the background, which I think the version without the background is actually more rare. Let's go see. I think it's 2008 tops. See, I get the 2000 to 2014. I get confused. Okay, it's not 2008 because 2008's white. Is it 2000? Maybe. Oh, 2006. Was it the Alex Gordon year? No, 2006 is also a white border. Maybe it's 2007. All right, I'm getting an education. It's 2007. All right, so let's just go down to solds. All right, so Derek Jeter with Bush in the background. Oh, and Mickey Mantle down in the dugout. One sold for $10. So this is with. All right, let's go ungraded. Ungraded, graded, no. Most of them are ungraded anyway. All right, so $10. Here's one that's also, that one sold at auction for just under $10, but that has them. Okay, here's one. So it looks okay. So it looks like the non versions. This one, actually, no, that's a variation. All of the solds are, and see, that's what leads me to believe that it's worth more. Oh, without Mantle and Bush, same price, $10. Yeah, there's a lot of Like all of the solds are with them. Here's one that sold for $350. That was a buy it now. So here's one. It says Jeter Mantle, Mantle Bush, but there's none on that card. I'm going to look for one more. Here's one sold for $350, and that was an auction. So probably around the same price. I'll probably. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I hate it when people do that. Oh, we're looking at cards. We're looking at cards, and I'm not showing you the cards. So let's share the screen. So it's 2007 Topps, the base Derek Jeter. So here, let's find one that's upright. All right, so here you go. I've got to share this tab. So it's 2007 Topps, number 40. At one time, and this was probably during the COVID boom, the non-Mantle Bush was selling for higher than the variation with Bush and Mantle in the background. So Mickey Mantle's down in the dugout. You see George Bush in the stands. So this one sells for about $10, and it looks like the non-Mantle Bush are probably around the same based on some sales. One sold for 10, a few sold for like $350. I sold my non-Mantle Bush. Again, this is during COVID for $20. I don't know what the Mantle Bush were going for, but I think they were going for like 10 to 15. But those were crazy times, so we can't really rely on comps from 2021. So this is it, 2007 Topps, Jeter, Mantle, Bush, card number 40 out of 2007 Topps. John brings up a great point right here. Topps had a great run in the 2000s design-wise. I agree, and I think I agree, John. Holy shit. Mark it down. April 4th. John and I agree. Yeah. There were some great designs in the 2000 in the aughts, the 2000s. What do you call that decade? The 2000, just the 2000s, the 2010s, and then you go to the 20s. But yeah, the 2000s had some really good designs. I know 2002 gets some criticism because it's like orange, but I like it. It's different. I like different. I don't want crazy different. Like, I don't want Topps to all of a sudden reinvent the wheel and make like Topps Fire as the base design, but I do like different. Different contemporary, is that what? But yeah, the 2000s had some good designs. And I like, the 2007 has the black border, and it was kind of sandwiched between white borders of 06 and 08. And I have to go back, and I know 2002 only because I remember Dontrell Willis, the rookie card, because he was with the Cubs in the update set in 2002. 2000, I remember, has the silver because I was still like dabbling my toes into baseball cards in 2000 after coming back in 98. But then that was the last. So 01, I can't remember. 02, I remember. And then I'd have, again, it's like in education when I go back and look up these cards. It's like, what year is this again? What year is this again? Red lights in the house. Good morning. Peter's here. What's happening? Happy Friday. Todd is here. Good morning. Happy Friday. Philly Joe, what's up? In the house, Gem City Card Show. Good morning. What's happening? Porter's here. Good morning. Uncle Rich in the house. Good morning to you. Dan is here. What's happening? Red Light sent me a message on Twitter. I will read it. Yes, I will do that. John says, eBay Live seems more rigorous than Dancing with the Stars. It is funny. The setup process for eBay Live, which also is kind of a breath of fresh air. What you go sign up to sell on Whatnot, and it takes you like 60 seconds. You fill out your information, link your bank account, answer a couple questions, and hey, you can sell. eBay a little stricter on who they let in and the process of getting onboarded, which is good because where do you hear out of all the live selling platforms, where do you hear the most scammers and all that, whatnot? And they're probably the easiest to get set up to sell. I think there's a correlation, if that's possible. Where are we at? eBay Live require a piss test. I've only had to take one piss test for employment. And the funny thing was, it wasn't even a full-time. It was, it was when I was working in high school sports, in radio, and my side hustle, I had created a website and a broadcasting network called the Illinois High School Sports Network. And basically in my free time, I would go out and broadcast games just because I enjoyed doing it. And so I'd get a little sponsorship money, but I took a lot of losses. So it was not a business. But I wanted it to be. And it was kind of the genesis of wanting to go to business school. It's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing trying to run a business. Like, this is not a business. I'm not making any money. So the Illinois High School Sports Network, and I had linked up with a company called iHigh, which I don't even know if they're still around. And so Kevin was the guy that I worked with from iHigh, and so we had he'd tried to bring me on as like a salesperson. And I'm like, I don't want to be in sales. Like, I kind of like my radio job, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, you can do it on the side. And so I had used their platform for a few things. And this was like early streaming video of sporting events. This is, now they got in what is it? NSFW is not safe for work. What's the NFL in national, whatever it is. The national high school website that sucks. So this was like an early version of that. There was iHigh and there was one other one with streaming video. I can't remember what the other one was. It might have been what's currently going. iHigh was I think iHigh ended up being the MySpace of streaming video. So I eventually just through my connections and, doing all of the games and going to all these high schools, iHigh saw me as like a good vehicle to get their product into other schools. Like, hey, this guy in his full-time job is visiting all these high schools and broadcasting all of these games. He's already got an in and he can sell our product. And so eventually the monetary stuff worked out. I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And it did require a piss test. And they're like, well, since you're going into high schools and all that, there's like background checks and piss tests. And I had to go down to the Quad Cities and do a piss test. It's like, man, this is only piss test I've ever taken for employment, I guess I should say. I passed, by the way. Dan says, Lesser Belushi was born in Wheaton. We don't claim him. We don't claim Jim. We don't claim him. Hunter Green, the modern day Jose Uribe. Tracy, what's happening? Good morning. Jody's in the house. Good morning. Gem City says, I thought it was expensive because his name is a popular color. Could be. Hunter Green. Isn't that a great, it sounds like a country singer's name. Hunter Green. Now on stage singing, My Wife Left Me, Hunter Green. Spam Likely says 3 straight 1-0 losses for the old Cincinnati Reds. Max says we've seen this before with the Reds way too early. It's way too early for everything. It's way too early to say the Dodgers are the best team in baseball. It's April 4th. But on paper, going into the season, the Reds are 2-5. So it's not like the Reds are 7-0 and I'm like, oh, they're the greatest team in baseball. They're in first place. No, they suck. Far as wins and losses go, they're 2-5 right now. So based on wins and losses, you're like, oh, they're going to be in the bottom. It's too early to say they suck because they're 2-5. So, but on paper and talent wise, they are stacked. Their rotation. Now, the problem with the Cincinnati Reds rotation, can they stay healthy? I think that's the biggest question mark with that stacked rotation. John says Schwar bombs were dropped yesterday. Still miss my buddy Kyle Schwarber. Johnny M, good morning. Happy fucking Friday. Here we are. Happy Friday. The true measurement of success: would your sales yesterday pay for a bus pass tomorrow? Yes. I could get a couple bus passes with my auction sales last night. Johnny M says heading out to pick up a small 3,000 card lot, 60s, 70s, 80s, stars, and rookies. Gwynn, Marcus Allen, Jim McMahon, rookies. $80 for the lot. Can't go wrong. Hell no. For $80, if you tell me there's a Gwynn, Marcus Allen, Jim McMahon, rookie, and there's 3,000 cards total, like, I'm taking it for $80. I'm taking the chance that there's more. Like $80, that's a blind buy. Like, you tell me I've got 3,000 cards at 60s, 70s, 80s, stars, and rookies. I don't know what's all in it, but I know there's a Gwynn rookie, Marcus Allen rookie, and a Jim McMahon rookie. And I want $80. I'm like, sold. I'll buy it. 80. I got 80. I got 420s on me. Sold. That's a no-brainer. And it could be 91. The 2,997 other cards could be 91 Fleer. And it's like, well, I took a gamble and I lost. But it was worth the gamble. Scott's in the house. Good morning from sunny Northern California. What's happening? John says, go get that lot. Enjoy the hell out of that lot. Absolutely. Spam Likely gives us that answer. 2007 for that Jeter with the cameos of Mickey Mantle and George Bush. What's up? That dude from Duryea in the house. John had the joy of opening an 800 count box of 92 classic basketball last night. I haven't seen such bricks since Ben Simmons left Philly. Man, upper deck 90s, upper deck. Once you get to like the mid 90s, upper deck, like 94, actually 93 bricks up. Does 92 upper deck brick? 90 and 89, 90, 91 upper deck, no bricking, at least from what I've encountered. Maybe 92 was the first year. I think 92, classic 92 basketball. I think 92 is when the card manufacturers started putting bricking material on the surface of their cards. Because, man, once you get to 92, everything's frickin' bricking. Yeah, I've come to the point where if there's a box of bricked cards, I either throw it away. Yes, I throw cards away. I either throw it away or I just throw it in the bulk shelf. I used to, like, back when I was trying to collect 1,000,000 Cubs, I was pulling each card and putting the bricked, the Cubs, and, I just throw away and then I get tired, just throw the brick away. So now I don't even mess with it. Porter says, please share the screen on that Jeter. Is it just base or SP? So it is the base card. Topps had a great run in the 2000s design-wise. Amen. Zach and Porter in the house live from Detroit. The only Bush variation that matters is the Walmart version of the Black Crowes Amorica cover art. I'm not familiar with that. Porter says, I love when I remember exactly where I stored a certain card in a bulk box. I didn't realize that Hunter Green was an SP until yesterday's show. Hey, winner. There you go. Get it up on eBay. We got a comp, $76. Dan says, your son's name isn't Zach, is it? Wouldn't that be a twist? Zach and Porter and Zach. Zach and Porter says, whatever set had the cognac variation was the best in my opinion. I'm also fond of 1990 Score, so be careful with my opinion. I love 90 Score. That's more nostalgic for me. Cognac was 2011, where they had the diamond and cognac versions of cards. That was the Mike Trout rookie year, 2011. Do you perform background checks on dealers? The funny thing is, and this isn't funny, but yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm doing Google searches in CCAP. But yeah, I mean, there's a couple guys that it's like, oh, can't have him dealing. So yeah, absolutely. Now if it's a couple DUIs, we'll let that pass. But if it's anything really bad, which unfortunately they are out there. Absolutely. Like, nope, sorry, we don't have room for you. John says, I'm in the entertainment field. A piss test is way down on the list of requirements. I can imagine. Yeah, I worked in radio. There was no piss tests. John says, Dan is real close to having a solid 4-minute set for open mic night. Dan says 2011 tops. Zach says no clue. Max says not too early for that. They are. 2011 tops is my favorite set ever. Zach and Porter says, I've sold a lot of detox tea and niacin tablets when I worked at GNC, always waiting for someone to come in and complain they didn't pass. Marge Schott knew how to keep the boys healthy. Yeah, back in the days, man. The Reds used to be, I mean, they were like the freaking Yankees of the National League. I mean, we have to go back 50 years, but, you know, the big red machine of the 70s. Hell, even the 80s, they had some great teams. They won a World Series in the Marge Schott era, right? 90, what year was that 90? Rob Dibble, Eric Davis. I think that was 1990. And they've fallen on hard times in the last 30 years. Dad Dude from Duryea, poll, Schwarber or Tucker, which Kyle are you taking? That's a really good question. Friend of the channel, That 70s Card Show, actually asked me the same thing. Here's my answer. I would rather have Kyle Schwarber over the last 5 years than one season of Kyle Tucker. I would rather have Kyle Tucker over Kyle Schwarber. As a player, I'm taking Kyle Tucker all day. But I love Kyle Schwarber. And he hits bombs. We love home runs. It doesn't matter that he hits 190. He hits 40 home runs. We love the long ball. But no, I'm taking Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker's a top 10 player in baseball. Kyle Schwarber is not. I'm taking Kyle Tucker. Now, would I rather have a career of Kyle Schwarber over one season of Kyle? I'll take an entire career of Kyle Schwarber over one season of Kyle Tucker. But I'm taking Kyle Tucker over Kyle Schwarber all day, every day. Philly Joe says Tucker. Yeah. 2011 tops is the correct answer. Scott's getting ready for a show in Auburn, California tomorrow. Hopeful for fresh bargain boxes to go through. Are you are you in the Big Shep neighborhood? Are you around? Give Big Shep a big hug for me. I haven't seen Big Shep in a long time. He's not big anymore. He's not Big Shep anymore. He's medium-sized Shep now. Zach says, 1992, TSC, King of Bricks. Price of it going up. Peter says, I chuck cards too from time to time. It's okay. Just don't post it on Twitter. Oof, man, people hate when you throw cards away because there's starving kids in Ethiopia that want those baseball cards. Orlando, what's going on? Good morning. Victor's in the house. Happy opening day. The Cubs participating in the 4th opening day of 2025. They opened the 2025 season with opening day in Tokyo against the Dodgers. Then they played on domestic opening day against the Diamondbacks in Phoenix. And then they played opening day in Sacramento against the Athletics. And now they're opening up at Wrigley Field for the home opener. 4 opening days for the Chicago Cubs. Porter was watching a movie and someone said, shit, I apologize to my son. He said, that's okay. I just ignore it, just like that guy with the glasses. Yeah. That's me. John says, I disagree with Zach that the January 1979 candy-loving pictorial is the only Bush that matters. Zach says, John, at least you know what the Amorica reference is. Max says, piss and fingerprint tests and background checks for me multiple times, waste of time. Tom Browning was a member of that 1990 Cincinnati Reds team. When you drive through Covington into Ohio, the view of Bengals and Reds stadiums against the skyline is a sight to be seen. Great setup. I've never been to Cincinnati. I've been to Dayton. I don't think I've ever been to Cleveland. I've been to. That's it. I've been to Dayton. That's it. I'm trying to think. Oh, wait. I've been to Youngstown. I forgot. Youngstown is in Ohio. I've been to Youngstown. I've been to Dayton. Youngstown was the trip where we almost had to divert our flight and the masks came down and the flight attendants were freaking the F out. They apparently failed flight attendant school, and that's why they were on a non-commercial flight, a private, whatever, a charter, and not American Airlines. I don't know. Is that what happens? If you fail flight attendant school, you have to go on charter flights. So that's how I remember Youngstown, Ohio. Zach says Tucker, top 10 player. Zach is absolutely correct. Max says, love Schwarbs, but Tucker all day. Absolutely. That's not even a question. I'd take Daryl Kyle over Kyle Schwarber. Sub 200 doesn't cut it. Oh, come on now. I'm taking Schwarbs over Daryl Kyle. Scott says, Shep and I are buds. Oh, my God. Well, tell Shep I said hi. Hell yeah. That's awesome. John says, Cubs have more openings than the aforementioned 1979 Playboy pictorial. But L1C's in the house. Says, I assume part of your background check is asking a dealer how they like their steak cooked. Well done. Sorry. Pass. The initial background check is what type of inventory do you sell? And now that we have the Madison Pokemon show, you get, okay, well, I've got availability on Sunday. Zach says, who will have a better season when it's done? Cincinnati Reds or Kyle Tucker? Well, that's hard to say. I mean, what are we judging it on? What are we basing it on? It's kind of hard to compare a team success to a player's success. Would I rather have the Cincinnati Reds team or Kyle Tucker on the Chicago Cubs? I'd rather have Kyle Tucker on the Chicago. Although the Cincinnati Reds, I really like the Cincinnati Reds. I really like the way their team's built. But hey, I'm taking Kyle Tucker. Although Ellie De La Cruz, oof. Who would you rather have, Ellie De La Cruz or Kyle Tucker? Oh. I don't know. What else? Anything else going on? I don't think there's anything else going on. So we got Cubs later today. I thought there was one other thing I wanted to touch on, but apparently not. It's not important. I do have auctions running. We're going to play Name That Player here in a second. Auctions are running, 99centcards.com. I did add new inventory to my eBay store. I added buy it now items. I think 200, maybe 300. 300 in my eBay store in the buy it now section. So buy 7 or more and you'll get 25% off at checkout. I'm trying to think of what I added. Kind of a variety. The hell's in my teeth? Do I got orange in my teeth? Auctions. I got more auctions ending tonight, 99centcards.com. All right. So Zach said, if it's too early to judge Reds, it is too early to judge Tucker top 5 performance, like those COVID comps you refuse to acknowledge. Yeah, we're not acknowledging COVID comps. All right, let's play Name That Player. Special edition, 1989 tops. Thank you, Michael Renick. He's probably like, I'm not playing. 89 tops. Michael Renick gifted us this pack of 89 tops. No, I'm not chewing the gum. I did inspect it to see if Michael heated up the wax to cheat on Name That Player today, but it looks pretty solid. I think this would pass. I think this would be non-tampered with 1989 tops pack of cards. Do we have a gum stain? Oh, the gum card is the front. Oh wait, no. Both cards are back to back. We got a beautiful gum stain. We do not have a PSA 10 piece of gum. So the gum. See ya. All right. I love the gum cards. That's a nice gum card too. All right. So split that in half. Man, if I could find one of these sweatshirts, oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing? This is a beautiful shirt. Champion card collector, Topps baseball. Somebody's got to have one of these, like just hidden away, probably in their attic, in like a trunk in the attic from 1989. High quality, puffy lettered sweatshirt, as shown, style B. To order, send check, no cash, for $19.95 plus $1.50 postage and handling. $1.50 to ship a damn sweatshirt. What a deal the USPS was back in 1989. So they even do the math. Topps did the math for you. That's a total of $21.45 for those that can't add. Plus any 3 1989 special offer cards. So not only that, you had to send 3 of these cards. They wanted more than money. Apparently they're in the business of recycling back then. Your name, address, zip code to Topps baseball sweatshirts, P.O. Box 3380, style B, Westbury, New York. Allow up to 8 weeks for shipment. Remember those days? God, you had to send a check. So you had to send a check in the mail. So it's going to take a few days. And then you got to wait 8 weeks. 8 weeks. That's 2 months. My God. See, I can do the math. Offer good while supplies last. Void where prohibited, taxed, or regulated. Offer good in USA only. Sorry, Canada. Left out again. And then you could register for a trip for 4 to the 1990 spring training camp of your the team of your choice. How about that? You just need to write some shit on a 3x5 index card. How about that? But look at that beautiful shirt. What a beautiful shirt. All right. So 1989 Topps. People are already guessing. I only know the top card, and none of those are accurate. So we have our scoreboard scrolling. Let's go say hi to some more of the chat. Let's see. All right. So we're going to get to the chat, and then we're going to get to name that player. Porter says Redbirds at Fenway for yet another opening day. Hope our offense keeps rolling. Herrera going to send a couple balls over the monster. Bubblegum. Let's go. Max, too short of clinching today. Does he know his 89 Topps? I think everybody knows their 89 Topps. What's the bow grading on that? Gum card, 2 points. Maybe in the palette. There's ad variations with those company store cards. Scott bids 99 cents for the company store card. I should put one of those in my eBay store. Topps should have charged Canadians a tariff for their sweatshirts. Yes. All right. First up. Hey, speaking of Canadians, it's Kismet. Speaking of Canadians, our first card up is from Montreal, and we should give them back their baseball team. Take it from Tampa. We don't need the Rays anymore. We want the Montreal Expos back. Who's this guy? Who is this guy? He started his career with the Cincinnati Reds. Then he played for the Phillies and then the Expos. It is Tom Foley. We got a few correct answers. It is old Tom Foley. Tom Foley is correct. I got to get my YouTube up. Let's see. I think I saw a few correct answers. I think Scotty Dubs was first. Where's my live? Where's my channel? Hey, I'm gonna hit the like button while I'm over here. You can too. Take this time to hit the like button. Boom. Like button enabled. All right. So Scotty Dubs, I believe. Scotty Dubs, he was fast. Remember Scotty Dubs. He won the very first edition of Name That Player, and he won it in like landslide fashion back when we did all the junk wax. All right, Scotty Dubs. I think I'm going to have to get ready for Scotty Dubs to make a big run today. He is now tied with Dave, my national roommate. All right, next up, New York. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, shop my eBay store, 99centcards.com. New York Mets. Who's this guy? He was infielder, played first and third. It is not Todd Zeal. It is Dave Magadan. Scotty Dubs. Scotty Dubs with Dave Magadan. Scotty Dubs with another one. Shane in second. Shane just needs a little faster internet. And I know why, because Scotty Dubs is in Dubuque. Shane is in Cedar Rapids. So Shane's got a few more miles to go before his internet hits Madison. So Scotty Dubs has that geographical advantage. He's a little closer. Scotty Dubs with point number 14. And he is now tied with that dude from Duryea. All right, next up. Wait, hold on. Got to get this one moved. So we move Scotty up. Scotty Dubs, I haven't seen you in a while. Madison Card Show coming up April 26th. All right, next up. Hey, we're back to Canada. So there's a clue for the next one. We're back to Canada. This time Toronto with the Blue Jays. Now, I would have got this wrong because I thought this was somebody different. So Scotty Dubs guessed who I thought. I thought this was Jesse Barfield. It's not Jesse Barfield. It's Lloyd Mosby. He doesn't look like a Lloyd Mosby. Isn't Lloyd Mosby sounds like Lloyd Mosby sounds like he would be like a door-to-door encyclopedia salesman, like on Seinfeld. Like he's like a character on Seinfeld that sells encyclopedias door-to-door. Lloyd Mosby. I think there was a Lloyd something similar to Lloyd Mosby on Seinfeld. That's probably where I'm getting that idea. Lloyd Mosby is the correct answer. I would have guessed if that was if I was shown that card and didn't know who it was, and I was playing name that. If I was on the other side, I would say that's Jesse Barfield. It is not Jesse Barfield. It's Lloyd Mosby. Let's see. So Peter said McGriff. Philly Joe was on top of that. Philly Joe with the point. Mosby. All right. Philly Joe. Where are you at? Philly Joe, that's your second point. So you're tied with Scott, L1C, and Joe Trotto. All right, next up. Scotty Duck. Yes, you are more than welcome to come up and sort some Cubs again. Oh, here's a gimme. Here is a gimme. Lloyd Braun. Thank you, Porter. Lloyd Braun was the character on Seinfeld. Here we go. San Diego. Who's this guy? It's a gimme, by the way. Tony Gwynn is correct. Max with the point. Max was first. L1C was second. Peter was third. Everybody knows Tony Gwynn. We're not going to throw him away. All right, next up. Ooh, that's point number 49 for Max. Can he do it today? Can Max get 1 point? One more point. Lloyd Christmas. Yeah. Was that Dumb and Dumber? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to skip the team card. 8, 9, 10. We got 10 cards left. Porter might know this one. This is tough. This is a tough one. Unicorn Cupcake says, end this madness. And Max says, why? Yeah. It just restarts again next week. St. Louis Cardinals. For some reason, my comments didn't reset. Where are we at? All right. Peters is correct. I see a correct answer. Shane. Wow. Shane knows Steve Peters. Shane knows his Peters. Shane with the point. All right. Shane. Where you at? 5 points for Shane. You're tied with John, maybe. You're tied with John. And his last name is maybe. You're tied with John, maybe. All right, next up. Oh, hey. Hey. Steve Peters is the name of a major Colorado dealer. Peter says Peters. That's a point for me, right? All right, here you go. Here's a gimme for my fellow Cubs fans. Rick Sutcliffe. Max wins. I think Max wins. No! Scotty Dubs was first. Oh, in a photo finish, Scotty Dubs with the point. We'll keep Rick Sutcliffe. We go by YouTube. It was Max was first on StreamYard. Scotty Dubs was first on YouTube, and we go by YouTube. All right, Scotty Dubs, 15 points. Oops. Right. All right, so on that one, Scott was first. Max was second. Spam Likely was third. Rich was fourth. Peter was fifth. All right, next up. All right, here we go. We go to Sacramento. Oakland. Who is it? Scotty Dubs. I think he got all the letters correct. I think he's got all the letters in there. They're not in the correct order. Yeah, he's got all the letters there. Yeah, Lansford. Scotty Dubs. Shane was second on that one, I think. Yes, Scotty Dubs was first. Shane was second. Rich was third. Scotty Dubs, 16. Making a run. Coming from the middle of the pack. We got Max in first, Michael in second, Uncle Rich in third, Scotty Dubs now in fourth. I think we got 8 cards left. All right, next up. Oh, this is ironic. This is quite ironic. Hey, we know it's not Lloyd Mosby. Max was first this time. Scotty Dubs was second. Max with the win. Jesse Barfield. All right. Max with the point, and that's 50. We're going to keep playing. We'll play it out. All right. Next up, Minnesota Twins. I like Shane's idea. I think we're going to do, next round, everything's got to be spelled correctly because it's not going to be speed, not just speed. We're going to do correct spelling. All right. It's Gary Gaetti. All right. Who's first? Scotty Dubs. Scotty Dubs was first. Gaetti. Yeah, Shane. I think we're going to run with Shane's idea. Because I think we were going to do that, but in the middle of the round, it's like, no, we've got to just start fresh. All right. We're going to keep counting points the rest of today, and then we'll just start fresh next week with a new scoreboard. All right. Next up. I think the reason everyone bitched was because it was midway through the game. So now we are going to do next week correct spelling. We got the Dodgers here. It is It is Tracy Woodson. Yeah, Suddy would not count. Tracy Woodson. All right. Tracy Woodson. Shane with the point. Tracy Woodson. Yeah, I'm with Shane. Tough shit next week. If it fails, we'll just stop playing. If everyone bitches, we're just gonna not play anymore. I'll turn this car around. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna turn the car around. If everyone bitches about the spelling starting next week, we're gonna turn this car around and we're just gonna end it. Tough shit, like Shane says. I like it. Shane has been appointed as director of Name That Player. All right, 6 points for Shane. Tough shit. That's going to be the new slogan for Name That Player. Tough shit. Tough shit. You don't like it? Then you can unsubscribe. You can get your money back for the daily or weekly game. All right, next up. Where are we at? All right. 4 cards left. Chicago White Sox. See, if this were next week, I'm gonna give Scotty Dubs the point on this one because it's pronounced correctly, but it's not spelled correct. So this week, today, we're gonna give Scotty Dubs. He'll guess. Yeah, close enough. We're not gonna do that anymore. Not starting next week. We would give that point to that dude from Duryea. See, Shane would have got it wrong. He spelled it wrong. Remember, I was the 6th grade spelling bee champion of Anawan Junior High. Spelling is important. Scotty Dubs with the point. And Scotty Dubs, he's gonna take 3rd place in this round. All right. Now, the thing is, I just have to remember that we're doing correct spelling, no nicknames, starting next week. All right. The Pirates. Nope, phonics will not count. Not starting next week. Today it will. Destrade, Orestes Destrade. Who was first on that one? I think Shane was. Michael Renicky was second. Orestes Destrade. Shane with the point. Shane's making some moves. He's tied with the Minneapolis Kid. The Minneapolis Kid, what I like about the Minneapolis Kid, like every single game that we've played Name That Player, the Minneapolis Kid gets like 3 or 4 points in the very first round, and then he never comes back. And then all of a sudden we start a new game, and there's the Minneapolis Kid. Plays again. All right. Next up, Angels. Now this guy looks like a Lloyd Mosby. This guy looks like he's going to sell you encyclopedias door to door. Sure. Oop. Almost gave it away. He looks like a Lloyd Mosby. He also looks like his actual name. It is Sherman Corbett. Yes. Michael Renicky. Almost gave it away. This is a Sherman Corbett. Hey, you name, like, what do you picture Sherman Corbett to look like? This guy. That's Sherman Corbett. He's a Sherman Corbett. Michael Renicky. 36 points for Michael Renicky. All right. And 1 to go. And this is the sweet, sweet bubblegum stain. Bubblegum stain cards actually sell on eBay. Look at this one. This is stained so bad, you can see it on the front of the card. Todd Worrell is correct, and look at this beautiful gum stain. Might have to put that on eBay. Todd Worrell. Who got that one? Michael Renicky. Came in late and still got the same amount of points as Max today. All right, so here's the final results. Max wins 50 points. Michael Renicky, what a good run he made. 37. If Michael Renicky would have been on time, he could have prevented Max from winning and stretched this round another week. But next week, name that player. I'm gonna put a Post-it note, and we're going correct spelling. It's got to be correct spelling. No nicknames. Sometimes we may need a first and last name, all spelled correctly. We are doing a round of correct spelling. It's kind of like, you know what we're doing? What we're doing is kind of like bingo. You don't just play standard bingo when you're at a night at bingo. You're doing X's, and you're doing, we're only doing down this time. We're only doing across this time. We're going to do, so that's how name that player works. So this next round is going to be correct spelling. We're not taking nicknames. We're not taking Lunsford. We're not taking typos. No typos. So you got to be fast and accurate. Fast and accurate. Name that player. All right. Michael Renicky says first and last name and uncle's name. Yes. Height, weight. Gem City Card Show says I had the real names, the ones these cardboard men were meant to have. Ooh, Shane says first and let's not baby steps. Baby steps. Max says apparently it isn't fun anymore, Mike. Fucking one nickname and the children bitch. Well, I think people are just bitching because everybody just types in random names and it's like, that's close enough. We'll give you the point. I don't think it's a Max problem. It's an everyone problem. Unicorn Cupcake says weight and batting average for the year of the card. I love it. Michael says it is for me. Me too. Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Good luck. Postage stamp. 6-pack kites. If there is an error and the player's name is incorrect, do we have to put the incorrect name or the correct name? Well, the correct name. Orlando says, I sucked at this when Spam likely gets more points than me. Chris Jackson. Oh, misspelled. You missed the R. Get out the Donruss. We need middle names. Or how about, let's take it a step further. Do I have any near me? I don't think so. Let's take it a step further and Hostess, 70s Hostess, where it's like, I never even knew the real name. Like, I mean, part of me thinks they just made names up. Like, this guy's name, like, that's not his real name. Elbert? Come on. Max says, thanks, Philly Joe. At least someone here has class. What did Philly Joe say? Michael Renicky says, like, what is on the card, I mean? Gem City Card Show says, congrats to the champion of a game where the rules are made up and the points don't matter. LOL. That should be the slogan of the game. It's a game where the rules are made up and the points don't matter. Welcome to Name That Player. Because that is 100% accurate. Like T206, Sherry McGee. Must matter to some. A lot of bitching, LOL. Like when you take points away from somebody, Max. Or when it's people who were born before my time and we cry about vintage. That kind of bitching, Max. All right. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more cards at regular price. You'll save 25% off at checkout. That applies to buy it now only. Check out my auctions. And I've got auctions ending tonight. Get those bids in. We had a great night of auctions last night. So check it out at 99centcards.com. All right. Like and subscribe. No show tomorrow. No Hobby Evolution tomorrow. I'll be in Wheaton, Illinois. Come out and see me. Wheaton, Illinois at the DuPage County Fairgrounds. I think there's like 250 tables at this show, so it's a big show. I'll have a bunch of bargain boxes, bunch of quarter boxes. Come out and see me. Apparently, Stevens Point tomorrow. I'll be in Wheaton at the DuPage County Fairgrounds. We will review the show on Sunday, review the card show on Sunday, and then no Hobby Evolution on Monday. No Hobby Evolution on Monday. Why? Because I'm going to be laid back in the chair with, getting my crown put on. So Monday's an expensive day as I lay back in the chair with my mouth wide open. That's what she said. So Hobby Evolution Sunday and Tuesday. All right. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow in Wheaton, DuPage County Fairgrounds. See you there. All right. If not, I'll see you Sunday. Have a great weekend.